So continuing our walk through the paddock, I've ran into my other really good pal, Christian Lundgaard, driver number 7 for McLaren. Christian, you changed teams in the off-season. You followed that up with your best start ever in St. Pete, the highest start in McLaren car. Talk about how a driver transitions to a new team, what you really have to be diligent about, unknowns, and how you basically work through all of that to deliver what has been your best start to a season.
Yeah, I mean, we all know how long of an off season it is, right? Leaving Nashville of 24, not necessarily on the highest note, just kind of gave me more motivation going into the off season. Obviously, those 6 months was spent with the team. I got to go home during the off season, get to spend some time with the family, come back, reunite, and work with everybody at Arrow McLaren just for us to get up to speed, because that's really all we could do, right? But I feel like I talked a little bit of a big game in the off season. I wanted to start strong. I didn't really want to approach the season with the mentality of, hey, we need a couple of races to get up to speed, even though that it's a new car, it's a new environment, all of this. I know all the tracks, there's no excuse. I've proven myself to be fast enough to earn this opportunity, so I need to be on it, and to be the best qualifying Arrow McLaren car was obviously very nice for that. But again, we all know how difficult Sunday is, and we had a very straightforward, I'd almost call it a boring race. We got to lead, which was nice. Just a lot of work, man. You know how it is.
Yeah. So then, just through the race, what was maybe the biggest thing that you've taken away from St. Pete that you think is going to stay with you for the rest of the season?
It's a difficult car to drive. It's very difficult compared to what I'm used to, which both has some positives and some negatives, I would say. I think it has more natural pace. It's very difficult to extract, and I think we've seen that from Palou, right? He has a very aggressive driving style in a sense, and he's able to extract, he's able to get the speed out of the car. And even here at Barber, I'm seeing that again, and it's just a reminder how hard you kind of have to work. But I think as a team on the 7 car, we had a very simple, straightforward weekend, and that's really the takeaway, in my opinion, is we approached the weekend. We need to keep things simple. We did that. We executed when we needed to. We weren't necessarily fast in practice 1, but we built the weekend up. We were fast in qualifying. We got to the fast 6, and we stayed in the hunt. We were in the game all race, and I think that's more than what you could wish for in the off season, not knowing what to expect going in. And we want to keep that momentum. Our entire goal for the entire season is just to be competitive every single event. We don't necessarily need to approach every weekend. We need to win this one. We need to finish on the podium. We just want to be there. And as long as we are there every time, we're going to have a shot of winning races.
And then that leads us nicely into Thermal, which is the next race weekend. I'm guessing you already just laid out your expectations, but it's going to be the first road course of the year. It'll be the first time you've driven McLaren car there. What are your early expectations, or at least things you're working with the team on following the Barber test heading into Thermal weekend?
Yeah, I mean, already at this point, this is the first time I drive the car on a road course. We obviously did Sebring and St. Pete. We're seeing some things translate from Sebring into St. Pete, and then even from there to here, that we're still continuously working on and trying to make that work for me, because at the end of the day, most of the car is built around Palou, and it's a little bit of a different driving style. He can handle, I would say, the unpredictability of the car, where I think Nolan and I both want something that's, in a sense, a little easier to drive, so we can extract the pace. I mean, we can do it on 1 lap, but we can't do it continuously. Even though that I've always seen myself pretty good at adapting, and I think that's why we're still competitive, but I'm still asking more. And that's what we're working on going into Thermal. I've always liked that track. We've always been competitive there. So yeah, man, I'm hoping we can win that one. It'll be the first time it's an official NTT INDYCAR Series race.
Awesome. It's Christian Lundgaard.